Hello my fellow fantasy book lovers and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Kathy, I'm a goth girl from Belgium who also is a big book nerd and book lover in general. So as you can tell, I have a bunch of books around me and I'm currently reorganizing my bookshelves. If you haven't seen that video yet, because that video is already up on my channel the moment I'm airing this one, then you can see the way that I've redone my shelves at the moment of recording this. I don't know what they look like yet, but I wanted to show you a little bit of the books that I own that I haven't read yet. So all of these books are books that I haven't read yet, and I want to declutter a few of them, and I also want to go through to the books that I have read. They are on top of the shelves right now, and see which ones am I going to keep, which ones do I have multiple editions of, do I want to keep all of those editions, etc. I think I have 200 books, and that is purely fantasy books. So there's a few books over here as well on the other side. Those are business books, creative books, books about YouTube and stuff. So these are books that I am not getting rid of, or maybe I will declutter a few of them. But the main focus is going to be on my TBR pile. And yeah, with my birthday just being around, I bought a lot of books as well. You will see in the April haul that there is a little bit of an excess of books in it. But yeah, I just have a few books that I know that I don't want to keep, and I just want to start with cleaner bookshelves without duplicates of books and just make it a little bit easier for myself to see what I'm going to read in the future. So I'm just going to look at my piles. It's already causing me a little bit of stress, but it's going to be fine. I know which books I want to get rid of actually, so that's going to be a little bit easier. So down this pile, you probably can't really see the pile. Oh, these should not be here. These should be up there. So this pile of books is a few books that I've bought at conventions, or like a single book from a series that I haven't started yet. But I also have two books that I already put aside previously, but that I haven't listed online yet. The first one is Son of Blood and Ruin. This was one of the Fairy Loot or Lumocrate. It's a Fairy Loot book. So I actually still have the Fairy Loot card and then the author letter and stuff. This book simply doesn't really speak to me. It is gorgeous, but I would rather just sell it, because even with all of these books, I'm not going to be able to read them this year, so I might as well just get rid of a few of them. And then this one I accidentally purchased twice, and it's actually the second book in the series, and I have the full series somewhere else. I don't need a book twice, especially not if it's the second book in a series. So those I'm for sure already going to get rid of, and now I'm going to do something very dangerous. I'm going to try and move you a little bit so you can see better what I'm doing. And now I'm actually moving the piles and just going to see, do I have any duplicates of books, because I know a few I have duplicates of, and if I have duplicates, which one do I want to keep, which one will I get rid of? And there is also a series somewhere that I want to get rid of because I simply didn't like the first book, so I'm not going to continue the series, which is an executive decision that I'm now making. Let's see, so these are all my new purchases. These are all new. This is the Lynette Noni series is down there. I'm not sure if you can tell. So the Lynette series is here. Then I have the trilogy of Rosaria Munda with the dragons that I really want to read. Then here I have a few books that I'm not really sure of. What are you even? After the Forest, Recipe by Heart, Sleep Careful with the Book, blah blah blah. This seems cute, maybe for autumn. Like, I'm hesitating for After the Forest, but it seems like a cute fall read, so I'm gonna keep it. Voyage of the Damned by Frances White. 12 Magical Blessings, 12 Days at Sea, One Chance to Stop a Killer, Save the World. Maybe. I'm just gonna keep it for now and just put them back onto the pile. There is another book here that I'm not really sure of. It is Lies We Sing to the Sea. I'm going to try and stay in frame with you. So Lies We Sing to the Sea, her life to appease a god, his life to save a kingdom, her lies to destroy them all. Death was only the start of her story. I honestly don't know if I want to read this book, so I think I'm gonna sell it or get rid of it for now at least. Then here, this is one of the books that I know I have a duplicate of. It is, of course, The City of Stardust. Now, I really wanted this book and I got the Waterstones edition that I pre-ordered myself, and then it was also in the Fairy Loot box. I actually didn't know that it was going to be in Fairy Loot box. I do really love the Fairy Loot edition a lot. It has this like shiny thing on it. The edges are gorgeous. But then I also like the Waterstones edition. But I don't need this book twice. So let's see at the naked. Oh, this has nothing and this has the same cover that I actually like better. So I'm gonna get rid of my Waterstones edition of The City of Stardust. And one thing that I'm going to do, because I actually like the alternate cover better than the one that actually is on the book. And I'm just quickly switching around the cover that is on the Fairy Loot edition because I like the other cover side a lot better actually, which doesn't happen a lot. But it's the original cover of the normal edition, but then in a different colorway, which is something that I personally really like. So now that this book is looking prettier, in my opinion, it still fits a little bit Then we have In Ravenous Dark. Yes, I don't think there's any books of this pile that I want to get rid of, so I'm just going to try and carefully push the piles forward. What do we have here? Oh, this is a borrowed book. Borrowed books I'm actually gonna keep separate from my own books because it gets confusing with my friends to know which one I actually own and which one actually is from a friend of mine, so I prefer to keep them separate. We have these ones. So I have the Swordcatcher book by Cassandra Clare twice. Once from the Waterstones edition, which is the Waterstones exclusive. I'm not sure if it's signed. This is not signed, but it is very, very pretty on the inside. So this is the hardback. And I think this is the normal design. And then you have the Fairy Loot edition with this gorgeous spray painted edge. However, I don't like when there's people on the covers. So let's see, this one is signed, but it doesn't have alternative artwork on the other covers. I'm still gonna keep the special edition and get rid of the Waterstones one, I think. I'm not entirely sure yet what I'm gonna do with that one, but for now I'm gonna get rid of one of them, and I'll probably maybe have this one just with the naked hardback on display because I do like the way that looks a lot more. It's just really, why haven't they done like an alternative color version of this one as well? Going on to the pile that is here that you can't really see, or maybe you can. I have all of my Leigh Bardugo books down there. I'm not really gonna go through those because I know I'm just gonna keep them anyways and hopefully someday read them. Then we have this pile. Kingdom of the Cursed, Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Feared, Book of Azrael, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black that I really want to start reading because it's this very, very pretty edition that I got from my partner and I haven't actually opened it yet. Book of Azrael by Amber Nicole, same thing. He got me this amazing signed edition. It's like a very, very special book. Yeah, I want to read those. Is there anything in here? Oh, yes. So, let's move some books and hope no piles fall over. I accidentally purchased 2 copies of Sunbringer. And I have the Illumicrate one and I have the Waterstones one. And if I can see, my Godkiller edition over there is actually a red-toned one. So I now have my copy of Godkiller, and my Godkiller copy, I think, is just the regular one. Yes, so not the Fairy Loot or Illumicrate one. I'm quickly gonna see which one I want to keep. There is also... I personally really love how these red tones look together, and I'm not super fond of this blue toned one, but I'm not sure which one is actually the one that is from Illumicrate or Fairy Loot and which one is from Waterstones. I think this might have been the Waterstones edition, but I'm gonna get rid of the blue covered one and I'm gonna keep, I think, these two, because I feel like the colors are better together. So Sunbringer I haven't read yet. Godkiller I have, so Godkiller is going to go back on top of my bookcase for now. Then what else do I have here? Guardians of Dawn, Zara. This is another book that was in my subscriptions. Magic Flickers, Love Flames, Chaos Reigns. Step into a stunning world of forbidding magic, romance and adventure. Maybe. I'm just gonna keep it for now because I don't want to make like rushed decisions about my books. So I'm gonna keep that one. And then here we have another pile with my Gideon, Harrow and None of the Nines that I really want to read. Also Traitor of Redwinter, Daughter of Redwinter. And then we have the 2 copies of Starling House. Again, a book that I really wanted to read, that I bought a special edition from online or that I bought in store. And then it also turned up in one of my subscription boxes, which was Illumicrate. And I have to be completely honest, I don't love these covers, but because this one is like removable and actually has like the pretty house on the inside, I'm going to keep this one, which I believe is a Illumicrate one. Yes, it's the Illumicrate exclusive. I really love the back with the graveyard. So I'm keeping this one and I'm going to sell my other hardcover. I don't know why it has plastic around it. Or maybe it was because that bookstore always did that with like hardcovers where I got it from. And then there's 2 books by Chloe Young that I'm probably going to get rid of. The one is Immortal Longings and the other one is These Violent Delights. So this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling and I didn't like Romeo and Juliet, so I'm not gonna keep that one. This one, I actually can't remember. Yeah, and this is inspired by Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra. I don't know, this just doesn't speak to me. So I'm gonna, both of them, put them there. So here are a few other books left over. I know you can't see them, I'm very sorry, but it's like the piles are a mess. So these are a few other of my books. I'm just gonna stack them on here so this pile doesn't fall, hopefully. Then I have all of my Scarlett St. Clair books. And I actually have a Touch of Chaos double. I have the Waterstones exclusive edition and I have the regular international edition. So I'm going to sell the Waterstones exclusive for now because I then can keep all of the other books together in the same edition. So then this is the entire collection of the 7 Scarlett St. Clair books in that series. I know they're not in order, but I'm gonna keep all 7 of them for now. I don't really love them, but I want to read them on at some point, and then at the end, when I've gone through all of them, I will sell them all together. And then there's 2 piles of books here in the back. This one contains my vampire books, so it's The Scarlet Veil twice, A Tempest of Tea, Anno Dracula, keeping all of these. And then we have Strange the Dreamer, Muse of Nightmares, Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, and Court of Nightmares. All of which I am also keeping. Holy shit, this pile is gonna tip over if I'm not careful. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna put them here on the floor. And then I'm going through a pile of my softcover books. This is the last pile of them. I actually have a few books here. So we have All of Our Demise, All of Us Villains, A Demon Bound, One Dark Window. I'm gonna keep those. But then I have the trilogy of the Fetch Phillips books and I didn't like them. I really didn't like the first one and I'm not going to continue reading a trilogy that I know I won't enjoy. It's kind of a detective series. The person leading the investigation, I mean, if the main character of a book who narrates the book doesn't speak to you, I don't feel like you should keep on reading it. So I read the first one, which is The Last Smile in Sunder City. I gave it a 2-star rating or a 1-star rating because I really didn't like it. And that doesn't make me want to continue reading the series. So these are going as well. And then I bought a Sarah Yema's book. that I thought I would read because it's Catwoman Soul Stealer. Until I realized it's actually based upon the DC Catwoman, and then I'm like, I don't really care. So it's actually the DC Icons series where this is part from. Yeah, I'm not gonna read this, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I know this might be in a recent haul. I bought it super cheap secondhand, but the truth is I'm not gonna read it. And then the final books in here are all books that I'm gonna keep, so I'm just gonna put them on the pile. So I now want to go through the books that I have read, because I know there's a few books that I have duplicates of, that I got a special edition of or something. So I just want to double check that there isn't anything that I want to get rid of. And then this video will end, and then I'm going to finally put all of my books back in their spots where they belong. So let's check here. So these are all just The Vampire Lestat, Queen of the Damned, Âme Perdue, books that I know I will keep. Bonesmith, yes, yes, yes. I know I have 2 copies of Silver in the Bone. So I have Silver in the Bone here. And I have it here. So one of them is the Fairy Loot edition, and this one is the, I think, Owl Crate edition. Yes, my partner got me the Owl Crate edition. I love the Owl Crate edition, it's beautiful. The Owl Crate edition has silver sprayed edges, it has gorgeous artwork on the inside of the book, and also it has like a reversible dust jacket. I really love the Owl Crate edition, to be honest. I think it's one of my favorite books visually. But I also like this one, but this one actually has another book cover on the back, which I don't really love. It does have like artwork cards in it and a letter from the author, and I think it's also signed. Is it signed or not? Yes, it is actually signed. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with this one so far. I really do not like this artwork on the naked hardback though. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of my Fairy Loot edition, and I'm gonna keep the Owl Crate one. Not because I don't like the book, I loved this book. So then, let's see if there's any other books that I maybe wanna get rid of. I don't think so, honestly. And the thing is, if I've read a book that I really didn't enjoy, then I will just get rid of it at that moment, and not wait until I've maybe decided to unhaul it. Like if I've read a book, didn't like it, I will almost immediately put it on my pile of books to give away or whatever. So these are all of the hardcovers that I'm getting rid of. So it's Son of Blood and Ruin, The Gilded Cage, Lies We Sing to the Sea, City of Stardust, Swordcatcher, Sunbringer, Starling House, These Violent Delights, Immortal Longings, and Silver in the Bone. And then the little pile of soft covers that I'm getting rid of. So it's the Fetch Phillips trilogy, Sarah Maas's Catwoman, and then A Touch of Chaos that I accidentally bought twice. So if you are from Belgium or a country around Belgium that uses Vinted, know that I will be putting all of these books up on my Vinted first. Of course, if you know me personally and you want one of these books, just send me a DM and you will be able to buy it from me. So yeah, these will go up on my Vinted somewhere when you see this video. And I will sell them, and if they don't get sold within X amount of months, I will probably take them to a local used bookstore that actually gives you a little bit of money for the books you bring in, and then they of course resell them. So that's 15 books decluttered from my collection of around 200 books. I'm not sure if I want to keep the number around 200 or not. It doesn't really matter all that much, as long as I can fit them onto my shelves, and as long as the books that I have I actually want to read and they bring me joy. That's the most important thing. Feel free to let me know in a comment down below, what would you have done with these books? Would you have kept duplicates of books that you are not sure if you will like? Or would you just have kept different editions from the one that I've kept? Feel free to let me know in a comment down below. And if you're not someone who declutters their books, feel free to let me know how you keep them, because for me, storage of my books is slightly becoming an issue, but we'll see how that evolves in the next few months. If you want to see how I organize my books, because obviously I haven't done it yet, that's something that I'm going to do right now, and I'm actually going to record it for you, then stick around on my channel, have a look at this video, Of course, feel free to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and if you haven't already and you'd like to be, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every week and I would love to have you for every single one of them. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye!